So, moving on. Conspiracy bait. A lot of theories about Charlie Kirk's killer, what happened. As I mentioned earlier, overwhelming amount of theories, actually. In fact, let me read Kash Patel's post. Some of you guys saw it, I'm sure. Here's what Kash Patel, our FBI director, posted yesterday in an update about the investigation into Charlie Kirk's assassination. I'm going to skip down a little bit. He assures us he's committed to it. And then he says, they're going through every facet of the assassination. We are meticulously investigating theories and questions, including the location from where the shot was taken, the possibility of accomplices, the text message confession, and related conversations, Discord chats, the angle of the shot and the bullet impact, how the weapon was transported, hand gestures observed as potential signals near Charlie at the time of his assassination, which all they'd have to do is interview his security guards to investigate that. And he goes on to say, and visitors to the alleged shooter's residence in the hours and days leading up to September 10th, 2025. So he hits like every theory. Well, not every. He hits maybe 40% of the theories that are going around online. Doesn't hit Israel, doesn't hit the underground tunnel or the camera bomb or the handgun shooter or the camera gun or the whole thing's a deep fake. He doesn't hit those, but he hits a good number of the conspiracies almost as a, okay, we hear you, placation type thing. And then he goes on to say that some of the details known today, while others are still being pursued to ensure every possibility is considered, our primary focus is to complete this investigation and deliver justice. To protect the integrity of the investigation and subsequent prosecution, we cannot rehearse every piece of information or release every piece of information to the public that we have right now, obviously. So you have more. We will ensure every question is addressed. Every question, you're going to ensure every question is addressed. I want to hear him address the question of, is it all a deep fake? I would love to hear him address that question. Which, deep fakes, it could. Who am I to say? I wasn't there. Regarding the specific details, such as questions about the plane that allegedly turned off its transponder after departing from an airport near the assassination site, we can share updates when answers are confirmed. After interviews with the pilot and the consultation with the FAA, we determined that the transponder was not turned off. Incomplete flight data in rural areas caused the apparent gap. I'm sure that's really going to satisfy people's questions about that. The entire FBI mourns the loss of Charlie Kirk. We will not rest until justice is served. And our investigation into the assassination will continue until every question is answered. He also, the glaring question, if we accept their story, is the roommate. What's going on with the roommate? And let me tell you a story that just came out about the roommate. I don't know if any of it's true. I should premise it with that. Let me find it here. God. Oh, yeah, here's this also. I don't know if you saw this yesterday. Alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson played Furry Shades of Gay porn video games online. Furry Shades of Gay. That's a game he played. It's on Steam, according to this. A Steam account with his name, shows he downloaded and played a dating simulator called Furry Shades of Gay, which describes itself as a game of love, queer relationships, hot gay sex, and slapstick humor. Furry Shades of Gay available on Steam. Let me get to that other. This was on Los Angeles freeway. It was on a building. Big image of Kash Patel looking very cross-eyed. I don't know why that would be going on. He's watching you, I guess. Maybe that's a joke somebody did. All right, here's this is the Daily Mail. So you can take this for what you will. Basically, I won't go through this whole story, but I'll kind of sum it up. The headline from the Daily Mail: Charlie Kirk's suspect's trans lover has vanished. Shaken neighbors share fresh fears as new photos show abandoned home. So they make it sound like vanished means he would just be disappeared in a different way than he already had. But what the article is about how the police came and got this guy shortly after the assassination, and he has not been back since. And his lights are still on, his car is still there, and apparently, this is a little bit of a weird part. There they are there. There's his car. There's inside of his car. Somebody's taking pictures. You've got a lot of stuff in there that doesn't look like something trans people would have. A lot of tools. By the way, he's a plumber. What looks like handwritten messages stuffed in the door of the alleged shooter and his alleged trans lover's door. They're just going to leave that there? There's handwritten letters there. They're just going to leave those. And who's like, well, let me put a handwritten letter here with this guy who I know. Who does that? Who's like, oh, shit, I know those guys. I better deliver them a handwritten letter. Don't tell them it was me. You keep my name out of your mouth. I got to go put this in their door. Laying down pipe seems legit. It's funny. Yeah, Kash is crazy, dude. It's not his wife though. It's just his honeypot girlfriend. She swears she's not a honeypot. Kash's IDF girlfriend. She's dated a long line of bite-sized, cross-eyed Indians. She can prove it. She's not a honeypot. So this article. Hold on a second. Where does it say what he does? Because it actually gives information about this guy that is I hadn't seen before. It says they lived together for 3 years. I thought they had only lived together for a year. And they had a third roommate, according to this article. And this is according to the people who live nearby them, which one guy actually threatened to put him in a body bag if he comes back. I don't know if I'd be doing that personally. I probably wouldn't be threatening to kill someone. Okay. Lance Twiggs was led away for questioning by the cops. Shaken neighbors say the part-time plumber has not been back. One declaring good riddance. I never want to see either one of them again. If he ever comes back, he will be in a body bag, said a neighbor. A neighbor grimly predicted. Why would they? Oh, he's dead. We brought him back to the apartment in the body bag. You guys figure it out. That doesn't even make sense, neighbor. They're going to bring him back in a body bag. That's his plumbing gear. Twiggs, this is the boyfriend, trans boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, studied at Utah Tech University, that's the school, worked part-time as a plumber. He also aspired to be a gamer and was a fanatical player of Apex Legends, Valorant, and Rocket League. According to a Twiggs family member who wished to remain anonymous, he was evicted by his parents for breaching their religious rules. The family member claimed that Twiggs had wrongly been portrayed as soft by the media. Candace, what's her name, said some of this stuff too. So I don't know if this comes from her as their source, which if it does, I would question. I would rather hear it from them personally. He was a drug user who almost overdosed, turned up at a family Easter, clearly high, spouting political slogans, and was addicted to the deep web, corners of the internet that can be, yeah, we know it is. He is full evil and hatred, admitted a second family member when approached by local news. Second family members, evil, full of hatred. Why won't they put their names out there? You think he can't figure it out? Why are you remaining anonymous here? At a moment when putting your name on the record is not going to put you in any more danger and is vitally important, unless the police are telling them not to do it. I imagine if this is true, then the police are telling them to not speak publicly. He's not a healthy person. He's very angry. He's very angry with anyone who's supportive of conservative ideals and Christian values. Well, that's very on the nose. On Reddit, Twigs claimed to have struggled with bulimia and made jokes about being beaten by his mother. I'm not laughing. That's not funny. I'm not. It's just so ridiculous. It's like every line is more ridiculous than the next. He wrote in one thread that he'd been recommended treatments for schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and a brain tumor through targeted social media advertisements. So the algorithm was like, we think you have a brain tumor. Do you feel like maybe you have a brain tumor? Come to Brain Tumor Doctors of Kennesaw, Georgia. We'll soup out your brain tumor just like that. And for half the price of anybody else in town. Despite the apparent fallout with his parents and 3 siblings, his parents have continued to support their son via Venmo. So his parents are being, this is all weird. So if I accept any of that as true, again, I don't accept really anything they're telling us is true at this point, but it makes it sound like the trans was a honeypot. Kind of makes it sound like, so he was so seductive, he lured this kid in. He convinces him to do his thing against this person he hates. Maybe he's an Iranian agent. Who knows at this point? Iranian, Israel, Trump. Who knows who he could be working for? And then he just vanishes. That's what happens to potential suspects who are actually either informants or they were UCEs, undercover, online covert employees for the FBI or for foreign intelligence, is after their role is exposed, they vanish. So if we never hear from this guy again, then I would say entrapment as a defense if I were the suspect's lawyer. If we do, then we will hear from him again or her again, whatever it is, at trial because this lover, roommate, cosplay, furry shades of gay, teammate, will be testifying against the shooter at trial. Because the shooter's not cooperating. Without the shooter cooperating, other person who clearly knew what was going on, accepting all of this nonsense is true. I'll cooperate, but I want immunity. That's probably what's going to happen, honestly. They're both seeking training fluid. Yeah, I want part of it to be that if the furry roommate / lover, furry shades of gay teammate does have to testify against the lover that kind of seems, based on this story, it radicalized this shooter who has a weird thing with his dad also. That's another thing, if we accept it as true. I keep saying that because it's very... if this were a movie, it would be it'd be like, I don't know if I buy this. Should have to wear the furry outfit. Favorite furry outfit, should have to wear it while testifying. I want to see those courtroom sketches. I want to see Bunny, whatever they is, pointing the finger in their furry outfit. Which brings me to what I was going to talk about before the Kimmel thing happened, and then I'll do one other thing and then close after that. Is conspiracy bait, which part of my title was conspiracy bait with the trans honeypot, which I really don't think that's out of the question based on the narrative we're getting here. All of these things that we're getting, these theories, people are jumping on a different theory every single day on social media. And they're certain of it. A lot of them are grifters. A lot of them are on Stairmasters. Go, get my stairs in. Oh, look at this butt. Look at this thing over here. And it's just, and people are like, oh my God. And then the next day it's like a different thing. And it's like, I'm doing push-ups. Just get my workout in. Look at this. It's bullshit from a lot of grifters, really, designed to pump up their ex profits. And maybe it's just grifters, probably not. Maybe it's just a product of modern society and the fact how publicized this whole thing was. It's probably a combination of everything, but the powers that be, the institutions who used to have trust over information from the people believed them, sure are not going to stop what's going on. They're not even going to try. They're going to feed into it. They're going to send people in to fuel it because they have lost trust. Over the past 5 years, who's gained trust? Podcasters, conspiracy-minded people have built trust. People go that way. The Davos conferences for the past 4 years have been about regaining trust. I played the clip from the one in 2021 where Klaus Schwab gets up there and he says, never before in the world has the people of the world been more united, and never before in the world have they distrusted us elites more. And then the whole objective of that little talk they did was, how do we rebuild trust in the controlling institutions of society? And then that's why you see people like Chris Cuomo and others step down from their jobs at CNN and others and go pretend to be podcasters in their basement like they're just by themselves when there's a bunch of people behind the camera. It's why we see them trying to be like us. And it's why I think in cases like this, they want to flood the zone with one theory after another that tickles our desire for conspiracy and a cover-up, which we all have that. We all want to dig deep and find out what's really going on. Because if they put a bunch of stuff out there that's easy to debunk, then that gives them the ability to discredit conspiracy-minded people and podcasters en masse. And then they can come out as the white knights. We're giving out the real info. I've seen this. And you know who's doing this the most right now? You know who is trying to make conspiracy theorists look bad the most right now? It's Fox News. It's Jesse Waters. It's Killmate or whatever the hell his name is. It's those guys there who loved the conspiracy theorist up until Trump got elected. But now are condemning the conspiracy theorists for the Epstein stuff, for what's going, for the theories people have now. Bait is being put out there to try and get us to jump to conclusions en masse that they can then make us look stupid for shortly after. This is the rebuild. To rebuild the trust in them, they have to destroy the trust in us. And this is something I've talked about for years. Because I hesitate when my confirmation bias wants to dive into something to find all of the reasons that this theory I think is true. I stop myself because I know that that's the worst way to prove something to be true. It's the best way to prove something true that can be disproven. The way to prove something is to attack an argument or a theory that you have harder than the people who want to make you look awful will attack it. So that way, what will happen is all the theories that are weak will fall to the wayside and you will get to a deeper truth. And you will find answers that you would not have found had our confirmation bias controlled where it directed us initially. And we will be able to handle any freaking argument that they come at us with. And we have to be better than they are because they want to make us look awful. And it's so easy with all the grifters and the social media and the videos and this and that. Yeah, great. We should look into that shit. But also, we should be open-minded that the things we want to be true initially might not be. Because that's the only way to prove them true. You know, I'm full of shit, right? Everybody's full of shit. But I'm serious about that. Nobody's perfect. Everybody gets shit wrong. People have to stop getting mad at each other when they don't agree with the freaking theory that you have. Look, everybody's not where somebody is. Make an argument. We need to make arguments. We want to beat them. We have to be better than them. They are trying to mess with us. Before I had to be like a nerd watching, like my mom watching public access shit, what WTF time is, and going to the library. That's what we got to get at the library. Oh, yeah, I got a courtroom sketch. I meant to get to that. So that's my conspiracy, but I don't mean to get on my high horse. I say it because I find myself thinking that I have a theory I've believed like 10 different theories. I try not to like say I believe one for certain unless I'm very obvious I'm being speculative about it. Like maybe the guy's a trans, but I don't know. That's nothing I can prove. People getting mad at like infighting among conspiracy theorists because you don't believe my theory or your theory. It's what they want us to do. It's how they discredit us and how they fucking say, trust us. We have suits on and a big network. So the guy who shot or who kind of shot at Trump, I guess. Did you guys see? Did you guys see this? What's the guy's name? Hold on, I'll find it. Ryan Routh. Ryan Routh. He was a very, very awful person. He was convicted today. He's tried to kill me. I was playing golf. Ryan Routh, who Trump was golfing in Florida last year, and this is a guy that was in the woods, and he had been stalking Trump there. He'd been like waiting in the woods because he knew where Trump was going. He was convicted today. So he said, I don't need a lawyer. I'm going to go Ted Bundy and defend myself, even though I have no experience or knowledge about the law. And it went about the way you think it would. As he was convicted in about 2 hours by the jury. And after he was convicted, apparently in disagreement with what the verdict was, he then decided to try and stab himself in the neck with a pen or pencil. I don't like it. He grabbed whatever, and then the security guys, the marshals, they tackled him to the ground and drug him out. No blood, which makes me think that he wasn't really, that it was more performative. Because if you're trying to really stab yourself in the neck, how do you not get a jab in there before the marshals can get up? They're not that quick with their reflexes. But there is a courtroom sketch of this incident here. What are these courtroom sketch artists doing? What are they doing? There he is. Look how close the pencil, he got him just in the nick of time. And look at the haircut on this marshal, who has a very long arm. Look how long the arm is. I mean, that is like Plastic Man in the comics. It even looks like his suit shredded a little. He's to stop that pencil before it went in his. And apparently, Ryan Routh is John Kerry. Never seen them in the same room together. And I love how the artist signed it at the bottom, like he's going to sell it in an art shop. The artist's name is Lothar Spear. That's the sketch artist's name. Lothar Spear. That's what he goes by. Lotharspeer. Lothar, or is that, maybe that's not how you say Speer. Whatever, it's a weird name. And so Ralph, so here's how the evidence against Ralph. Yeah, Stretch Armstrong. Yeah, totally. This guy's got a mohawk. Like, I kind of think this Marshall's a trans right here, to be honest with you, based on this. You can't really tell. I mean, Ryan Ralph looks like he's about to do a campaign ad about swift boating. The evidence that was presented was a mountain of evidence, it says, including call logs, text messages, bank records, video surveillance, all things to keep in mind about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Maybe some of that stuff that Cash said they have to keep close to the vest now, which of course they do. Highlighting cell phone records from Ralph's burner phones. This is good. So, like, all the evidence that they got were from his burner phones, which means he clearly doesn't know how to use burner phones. A digital forensic expert showed cell phone data from Ralph in the vicinity of the golf club weeks before, including for 16 hours, beginning at 4 a.m. on the day that he was captured. A Google account from one of Ralph's burner phones, again, the burner phone, where he searched for Trump upcoming rallies. So you get the burner phone, you think you're invisible with a burner phone. You are clearly not invisible with the burner phone. He searched Palm Beach traffic cameras. You know what he should have searched? How secure are burner phones? That should have been his first search. It's probably one of those apps where you can get a burner number, but you got to give him your number, your email address, and your name along with it. I guarantee it that to activate that thing, he had to give all of his information. He's like, well, it's a burner phone. That would never give it up. What else did he search? He also searched directions to Miami Airport, flights to Mexico. He texted somebody, I may see you Monday. And he searched how to make a tourniquet. I guess in case he got shot in the process of escaping. I'm sorry. This is that guy you saw the pictures of going to Ukraine to want to fight. This poor guy. And he has kids too. Didn't go to him and go, Dad, what are you doing, Dad? Come on, Dad, come play with the grandkids. Come throw the baseball with me, Dad. They're kids. Like, Dad, why are you wrapped in a Ukraine flag with an AK? What are you doing right now? Oh, you're gonna go fight? Okay, let's get at it. Like they think he's cosplaying. First rule to Google how to use a burner phone when you get a burner phone. Oh, my God. Oh, so this is kind of sad, actually. This guy's backstory, though, is very performative. He was always doing weird stuff to, like he was born too early. He'd really thrive in modern day performative activism. Maybe even he'd be a Democrat elected politician, like an Adam Schiff before his time. So 12:55 on the day that he was arrested, when he was ready to open fire against Trump, he texted his daughter Sarah saying, love you so much, you're the best daughter. Then he texted his son at 12:56 saying, you're so awesome, dude, love you so much. Then he texted his other son, Oren, also at 12:56, saying, love you so much, man, you're so brilliant. I got to say, I'd be a little disappointed in the specificity of the compliment there between the two brothers. Of the 3 children that he texted, Oren wrote back to him, hey, love you too, Dad. What's up? Everything all right? I guess the other 2 ignored his text. Oh, my God. That's sad. I shouldn't laugh at that. I'm sorry. He is in a sniper's nest after having staked out a golf course for 16 hours using burner phones that are giving him no privacy. Because he found out through that burner phone, through a Google search on that burner phone, that Trump was going to be playing golf at Trump's golf course. And the last thing he did before getting ready to try and become John Wilkes Booth is he texted his 3 children that he loved them. And only one of the 3 texted back. Maybe he should have spent more time parenting and trying to be a war hero. One of the stories about him was him claiming to have saved somebody. I don't know if he did, good for him. I don't know. But this is a person who has some serious, I don't even, do you guys ever meet anybody like that? Usually people you meet who like behave like this, they're usually like, it's usually like somebody who lives on the streets. And they're just, it's sad, really. New phone. So there's a market for anybody who can come up with a product for burner phones for retards. All right, well. All right, so I'll do one more story. There, see you, John Kerry. No, I'm not going to do Trump stuck on the escalator. Trump telling, I guess we can watch that. It's probably funny. Trump telling the pregnant women to tough it out or whatever he said. It's funny.
Number of cases, I think. But if you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol, but it'll be very sparingly. It can be something that's very dangerous to the woman's health. In other words, a fever that's very, very dangerous, and ideally a doctor's decision, because I think you shouldn't take it. And you shouldn't take it during the entire pregnancy. They may tell you that toward the end of the pregnancy, you shouldn't take it during the entire. And you shouldn't give the child a Tylenol every time he's born and he goes and has a shot. You shouldn't give a Tylenol to that child. It's a small.
Somebody needs to make a talking Trump Tylenol dispenser that monitors the number of Tylenol that is dispensed, and it can maybe, of course, you put a little facial recognition there because everything has that now. And he says, you can only take one today. You're not going to give one. He just it says everything that he says here. Well, it monitors how much Tylenol you and your child are taking. You've taken too many today. You're going to need to get doctor's permission to take it out there. And it has it in his little hands. Maybe he coughs it up. What is this? Oh, and then all the women who are taken, they're pregnant, and they're like taken. What I thought was interesting about that is one of these girls who, like, one of the videos had like 300,000 views on X, but somebody had ripped the video from TikTok and shared it on their account, making fun of this girl. So getting all the X profits off of it. And then I went and found the girl's TikTok page that actually made it herself. She's only got 24,000 views. So somebody's making money off of ripping off her video. She could have put the video on X herself, made fun of herself, and been profiting. That's actually a good business model. Pretend, make a bunch of fake videos that the people on the right want to share and mock all the time, and then you make an account pretending like you're not yourself, and you just mock yourself. There's your profit model for X right there. Bizarre twist, and the Astronomer CEO, the Coldplay Kiss Cam. Apparently, they say that they were just friends, according to a friend of the family, or friend of the female, anyway, which is in a bullshit story. I would think that they were just friends. The story is that the HR lady who the CEO was hugging that her husband, who they were separated, about to get divorced, was also there. So it sounds like they're swingers to me. And that they were just friends that were hugging and getting cuddly. Would have included that in your letter if I'm the CEO. So I'm going to call bullshit on that. And so the last story, I'm going to play it. It's about blackface. There's been a blackface incident in Atlanta. And it occurred at a volleyball game at a high school on blackout night. Teams do this thing where they say, we're going to do a whiteout, we're going to do a blackout to try and get uniformity through the crowd as like a we're going to win type thing. And it was a blackout night for this team. Couple of fans said, you know what, I'll do you one better. We're going to go full body. We're going to go full body head to toe paint. Do you get outraged for these people for understanding the assignment and excelling better than everyone else? Why punish someone for doing the thing better than everyone? They couldn't actually punish them because it was the family and friends of, they didn't go to the school. They were friends and family of one of the volleyball players on the team. They were there to support her, and they all went head to toe, mostly in black paint. You'll see part of an image here. And they spelled the girl's name on there. But, everybody had a letter. And what's interesting is that when you look, I'm not going to show the uniforms of the players because I don't want to show a bunch of somebody's daughters on a show. But the uniforms are long black. The uniforms look exactly like these people look. Well, I'll let you guys decide what you guys think. If they went too far. Of course, there was outrage, by the way. It's always outrage. Why is this not showing? All right.
But first tonight, outrage and calls for change after a photo taken at a school volleyball game goes viral. The picture taken at Whitewater High School's volleyball game in Fayette County shows people with their faces and bodies painted black.
And now several families and local leaders are calling it offensive and an example of blackface. 11 on Live's Galat Malamed is live outside the Fayette County School Board where the meeting just wrapped up a short time ago. So Galat, did the district respond to this tonight?
The superintendent did apologize for the incident at tonight's meeting. Families, though, are questioning how this group was let into the building in the first place and want to make sure this does not happen again.
It's just demoralizing, dehumanizing.
Several Fayette County schools' parents and community members are outraged after a photo circulated online of 5 people at a Whitewater High School volleyball game last.
Oh, so you see it there. It's not showing at all. The actual image, the two on the right here, their entire face is black, like dark black. So there's, if I were with that group, I'd be like, all right, we're gonna be a little provocative, but also they still were within the realm of the assignment.
Last week with their face and bodies painted black. Adrian Cooley has 2 daughters at the
See, they're not going to show the uniforms. They actually look exactly like the uniforms.
School.
Well, let me tell you, if you've never had a blackface incident at your child's school, you don't know the pain I felt when I saw that picture.
Picture drew the
Wait, so the pain that he felt, you think his daughter cared? You think his daughter gave a shit?
attention of Democratic State Rep Derrick Jackson.
This is not cute. This is not fun.
And local
these people love, and by these people I mean activists. They love these opportunities to go out and do activist shit. This is what their job is every day. They look for stuff like this, so they're as happy about it as anyone else, and they're going to find racism in anything they can.
NAACP leaders, they say the picture is an example of blackface and it is causing pain for families in Fayette County.
What about black
I got a
leg?
notice that said, oh, they had a blackout game.
So is somebody painting? Oh, the picture is an example of blackface. Or is the act an example of black? What about the leg? Is that blackface? What about the abdomen? Is that black? What about a little bit on the arms? What about underneath the eye? Are those all black face, or is there different
Well,
specifications?
blackout just simply means wearing black, not on your face, because that in itself is offensive.
During public comment, this man read a
B-side,
statement
I'll
on
show
behalf of the people in the picture. He says it was a blackout-themed game and they were there to support a Whitewater player whose name they spelled out on their chests.
There was no racial intent behind the actions. As soon as those involved came out, administration asked them to remove it from their faces, and they did so willingly. They apologized to anyone that was offended.
Fayette County Superintendent
Oh, they
Dr.
cut off what he had to say. That's bullshit.
Jonathan Patterson says a non-Whitewater high school student is in the picture along with several adults.
We want to state clearly, it is never acceptable to paint one's face black.
Somebody should edit this video to where this judge has blackface on while he's reading this right now.
This action is deeply offensive, and it does not reflect the values of our schools and our community.
He says they were quickly addressed by administrators when they entered, though the district regrets letting them in the first place.
They let them in!
Apologized for the pain it caused.
They let them in!
Moving forward, we are committed to ensuring this does not happen again.
Because they didn't see it as a problem until some activists and a state representative here in Georgia said, that's a problem. So it wasn't a racial issue until a bunch of activists who had an opportunity to benefit politically by being divisive came in and told them it was.
Unclear if the adults in the picture are connected to Fayette County schools. The local NAACP leaders here say they want the district to review the code of conduct to try and prevent something like this from happening again and to discipline the people in that picture. The superintendent says they will review that code.
They don't go to the school. You can't discipline them.
They're also going to train staff so that they can properly address situations like this in the future.
Train staff to properly... So train staff to see racism and things that could be interpreted as following the instruction. Let's win tonight. It's blackout night, just like Georgia Tech was whiteout. Virginia Tech does blackout. They suck the fun out of everything. And I don't know if anybody was trying to intentionally be racist, but I would say that if somebody was going to go support their family member or friend in their volleyball game and spell their name across everybody has a letter, I would think that they probably wouldn't want to ruin their friend's night by becoming the story by doing something racist. So I would start with common sense. And who cares? It clearly didn't bother anybody who was there. It didn't become a thing until afterwards. And I know I don't care, personally, that this, I don't know this guy's name, but this is funny. What's it? Drewski. His name is Drewski, and he's a black guy who dresses up as, he goes full white face, white body, and he goes around acting like a redneck. And it's funny. I think it's very funny. I mean, he looked.
Here's the love. Here's the honor. If you can't come in her, come on her.
I mean, he looks like a white guy. That's great makeup.
Hey, Suanna. Suanna.
She's not listening.
He's
Come
got
on, you
some
didn't
old,
look to your nana. Go ahead, baby.
he got some old lady on his lap.
Girl, you crazy now.
Oh my God. He just spit in front of a black guy walking by.
Hey, Big Ma. How you doing, baby?
Probably knew that guy.
Good. All right now.
He had the tan lines painted in.
You lost, boss? No, I'm going to the race. What race? NASCAR race. You going to NASCAR? Yes, sir. A little bit. You ain't lost, is you? No, I'm good. I'm going to the race, sir.
He
Sure
probably
about
knows
that?
guy. He's laughing at it. Yeah, he knows who
Find
he is.
something safe to do, boy. Yeah. If liquor don't kill us, pussy must. Oh, that fucker will go. I see. Dan Arthur. Dan Arthur. Oh, South Dakota. Yeah. Damn right. Proud to be American.
My guess is he had that camera crew there. There's probably people who knew who he was because he's done this before. That's why I think those black guys he was messing with were laughing. I think they knew who he was. But I don't know anybody who's would be. I know there's an article saying there's backlash. I don't know where's their backlash from. Who care? Who's offended by that? Who gives a shit? Stoner says it would be great if this dude had the backbone to speak out against what happened to those blackface kids. He probably doesn't know about it. This is a local Georgia story that didn't get much attention. Certainly didn't make it to Kimmel. And I would be surprised. Maybe Kimmel will cover it. But then Kimmel might have to face questions about his own blackface history, except that he never does. Who cares? Who cares? That's the whole point is, who cares? Activists who stand to gain. That's all. Those are the only people that care. Propagandafight.com, youtube.com/Brad Binkley, link in bio at Freedom Act Radio on X if you want to support the show by becoming a subscriber and get access to the show that Austin Picard and Sam Tripoli and I do called Whatever This Is. You can get access to that at patreon.com/propaganda report and propreport.com/locals or propreport.locals.com, whatever it is on locals, where you get whatever this is episodes. There's 30 of them now, as well as you get the audio version of the show ad free. I take the ads out for those who subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe, and you're listening on audio, let the ads play through. We don't get anything if the ads play through. It helps us out. I try to put them at the beginning and at the end, sometimes maybe one in between, but I try to kind of concentrate them there so they aren't too intrusive. So it does help us out if you let those play through. Instagram.com/propaganda report and smash that like button, share it with friends, leave a 5-star review if you like it and a comment that warms my heart. And you can also tip on these platforms as well. All of your support and your interactions help. Thank you for hanging out, Stoner, for the late night. I appreciate it. It's always good to see you. And Courtney and everybody who's in the chat, I do appreciate it. It always warms my heart when I'll do like a late night show and there's still, you guys are, some of you guys are night owls like me. And we can chat and hang out. All right, guys. We'll do it again next time. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Love you guys.